Hey guys, I'm Clayton, one of the owners of Ascendancy Fitness Gym. We're located in Warrington, northwest of England, and today I wanted to answer one of the questions that we get asked all of the time. How much does it cost to open up your own gym? So we're gonna head through. As you'll see a bunch of different stuff in here that we've obviously bought, but I'm not gonna go through that right now. We'll do that later on in the video. We're gonna start talking about gym equipment, but first I wanted to give a little shout out to Steven from Super Fitness in North Carolina, because I saw this video and like a bunch of other people, it's so interesting to know how much a gym actually costs. And I thought, we've wanted to do this for ages, so we're gonna base it on a similar format to what his video was. And that is basically just a running tally of costs. So you'll see on the screen the total at the bottom, and we'll add it up as we kind of like go along item by item. So let's head through. The gym is sectioned into kind of like body parts, I guess, mainly. So here we have basically all of the leg section. So one by one, we're gonna go through each piece and we're gonna tell you how much everything costs. And as well, all of the items that we're gonna say on the screen and the prices all includes VAT, all includes shipping and install, because as Steven said in his video, that's really important because those costs can sometimes be hidden. Don't want to hide any of that. All of these is like shipped, installed, delivered. I'm gonna try and go about 4 pieces of equipment at a time because my memory can only remember so much. So this is a Cybex VR2 leg extension. You can't actually buy these anymore. Cybex are discontinued. You could probably buy this right now used around £2,000. This is a Watson hack squat, amazing bit of kit, fully adjustable with a hydraulic system, £3,300. Watson leg press, this is about £4,100. And this, our prime leg extension, this is around £3,950. So selectorized booty builder hyperextension, this costs around £4,400. Panatta hip thrust, this is about £3,300. A Watson hip belt squat, this is around £2,300. And this pendulum right here is an amazing pendulum from a brand called Power Zone, which is local to us. This is £1,500 right now, roughly. So this is an unbranded leg press, which I got from when we first opened in 2018. This is about £1,500 right now. This is a hoist lying leg curl. This costs around £4,700 in our custom colors. A little bit less if you were to not get it in custom colors, obviously. And by the way, a lot of this kit we've actually painted ourselves to save costs. So this, for example, is a Cybex VR2 leg curl. So similar to the leg extension. This is also around £2,000, but again, you can't get this right now, so you'd have to find it used on the market. This is a really, really old school Panatta seated calf raise. This was actually gifted to me by my uncle, so shout out to my uncle. So this costs us nothing, which is cool. But I don't know what that would go for right now, but I'm not including it in the video. This is a Panatta Super Squat. This is around £3,300. And this is a standing calf raise by Power Zone as well, which we converted into a Viking press as well. So this doesn't come as custom. We actually got this welded on. You could probably get this for around £1,000. So this horizontal leg press, you could probably get this for around £1,000 used right now. Again, this is used. Some of the kit we are going brand new, some we're going used, but just to give you a rough idea. Abductor and adductor machines, 2 separate machines, about £1,400 each. 3 Watson squat racks with integrated platforms. None of these costs are included in barbells or plates, which we'll come on to later on. All 3 of these together cost £8,200. So that's most of our leg stuff covered for now. We're gonna move into our back section, which is mainly over here and kind of like over here a little bit. Okay, so this is an assisted pull-up machine. This is about £1,500. I think it's force, but not 100%. Someone's left their plates on this, naughty. This is about £1,000. Again, this is a Power Zone piece of kit. This is also Power Zone. Both of these two are £1,000. This is a T-bar row. Again, not quite sure where I picked this up from, but this is £1,000. This is an ISO row. This is from Power Zone as well. This is £1,000. This is a Panatta circular lat pull down. This is about £3,300. So this is a Panatta Super Row. Quite heavy, got some weight on it. £3,300. This is a Power Zone pullover. £1,250. And this is a prime chest supported plate loaded row in our custom colors, as you can see, £3,950. So moving on from our back area, this is mainly kind of chest, shoulders, and arms. So this is a hammer strength seated lateral raise. Again, it's got our custom colours in, so it's a little bit more expensive than what it would be if you didn't. This was £3,200 installed, delivered. Come around this way. We have two more pieces from Power Zone. This is a chest supported tricep dip machine. This is about £1,000. It probably will be a bit more now, to be honest with you. Most of the cable stuff I'm saying is around £1,000. It's probably going to be a bit more than that now. And again, £1,000 for an overhead tricep extension, also from Power Zone. Okay, so here we have the Panata horizontal chest press. This is around £3,300. Right here, we have a plate-loaded preacher curl from Power Zone as well, £1,250. And right here is an Origin decline bench press, around £1,000. The Smith machine was gifted to us by one of our PTs. Shout out to Kev. So we actually didn't pay anything for this, so it's not added into the tally. This, however, is a Origin Smith machine and is about £3,400 new on the market. All right, so here we have three different types of plate-loaded chest presses. I'm gonna put £1,000 down against each one of these. These are all from Power Zone. Again, they're probably gonna be a little bit more than that right now. Backpack deck, which you can't actually buy anymore, but that's also around £1,000. It's probably way more than that now, to be honest with you. Standing lateral raise, plate-loaded, about £1,000, maybe a little bit more again. And then these two, again, £1,000 each. So again, this is a pre-core shoulder press, stack-based. We painted this ourselves as well. But used, this is around £1,000, again, maybe a bit more. And a Power Zone plate-loaded shoulder press, again, around £1,000. This is a pre-core chest press, selectorized, probably around £1,000 used. Atlantis shoulder press, plate-loaded, in our custom colours, £4,600. This is our 12 station. I custom designed this with Watson, so big shout out to Watson because they did everything that we wanted on this 12 station right here. So 12 different stations, including dual stacks, also including these black panels, which I think are first of their kind, where you basically can't see the other person looking at you all weird behind the other machine. £23,000 this cost us. Yeah, a lot of money. Here we have our free weights area. We've got a mixture of barbells, dumbbells, benches, etc. Here we have a hoist rocket bicep curl. Amazing bit of kit which actually moves as you curl. Really cool. £4,700 in our custom colors. Here we have the dual stack Watson narrow press. You can do loads of different exercises on this. £2,300. And in the back here we have our fixed barbells and the rack, probably around £2,000. Really old school preacher curl, which needs reupholstering, but we got it gifted, but it's probably about 500 quid. Animal breaker bench. This actually moves to get you into a better position. £2,300 from Watson. And the Atlantis incline chest press, £4,600. As you can see behind us, the full dumbbell rack here from 2.5 to 50 kilos with some that have duplicate weights, around £10,000, including the rack. Again, probably more, but we'll go with 10 grand. These Watson adjustable benches with our colors, we have about 7 of them, £8,500 for all 7. And we also have 3 other adjustable benches which we've accumulated from Origin. They're around £2,100. So each bench is somewhere in the region of £700-ish. We have around 4,000 kilos of rubberized cast iron plates that we've had custom designed. These cost us around £8,350. And these little racks that are housed, probably somewhere around £200 each. That rounds off pretty much all of the equipment downstairs. We're now going to head upstairs and then we'll come back downstairs and we'll talk about all the miscellaneous stuff such as lighting, lockers, flooring, signage, etc. All right, guys, so we're upstairs now. This is mainly cardio functional kind of thing. There are some few machines down there, which we'll go over in a little bit. But first of all, let's head over to the stairs. So everyone loves the Stairmasters. These are seriously expensive. Most cardio is really, really expensive, which is why a lot of independent gyms don't have much cardio, because each one of these is about £5,000 new. We have 25 grand. Here we have the treads. These are around £4,000 each. We have, I think we have Impulse. Yeah, we have some Impulse, and we have some Pre-Core at the end there as well. You can pick some up at auction for a lot cheaper, but new, these are around £4,000 each. And if you're buying treadmills for a gym, make sure that they'll last, because you don't want to buy cheap and they end up breaking all the time, all right? Because these get absolutely battered. Okay, so here we have an Assault Fitness Curve tread. New, this is around £3,750. Over here, we have 2 spin bikes. These are Origin spin bikes. They're probably around £500 each, so £1,000 for the 2. And here we have 5 Concept 2 rowers. These are around £1,000 each, so £5,000 for the lot. This is a Watt bike, Atom X. This is like top of the range Watt bike. This is around £2,840. And over here, we have a Concept 2 ski erg with the floor mat, which is an additional cost. This is around £1,000 with the mat. So here we have our custom built rig with Watson. Again, rotating pull-up bar and all that. It's pretty cool. I never see anyone using this actually. But anyway, pretty cool. £6,300 for the whole rig, not including things like the battle ropes, the bumpers. That does include the rack, to be fair, but not including the bags or anything. We have an Origin multi-pulley. That's about £2,500 new. And here is an Origin cable crossover. That's around £5,400 new. Crazy amount of money. Here is one of the Origin benches that we mentioned before, not the Watson ones. Obviously, these are the others. Really sturdy bench. So I think these were around 700 each. Okay, so this is like what I like to say is our semi-private room, all right? It's by no means private, but it's probably the quietest place in the gym. You can do pretty much full workout in here, and it's usually really quiet. 1, max 2 people are going to be in here at a time. So we've put a multi-pulley in here along with a squat rack and bench. There's everything in here that you need. Now, this is around £1,500 as a multi-pulley. This squat rack is about £2,500, not including the barbell and the plates. We discussed that before. And the bench is one of the Origin ones, around £700. Obviously, we've got the barbells and stuff. These dumbbells, this dumbbell set with the rack, around £500. 1 to 10 kilos with the rack as well. So here upstairs, we have one of the few machines that is up here. This is actually part of an 8 station that I had previously, which, by the way, I haven't included any equipment that we have bought previously and sold that isn't here right now. So obviously that's quite a bit. This you could probably get for around £1,500. That's £500 per station, something like that. Here we have a pull-up and dip station and kind of ab crunch station. You could probably get this around £500. It's an Origin piece. And here we have a Nautilus ab crunch, which we got for around £1,200. This is pretty cool, but it's quite banged up, to be honest. So new, probably a lot more, but we'll go with £1,200. Okay guys, we're in the studio right now, which is on the upstairs at the back of our gym. Usually it's used for like classes and stuff like that, but some people do come in here and just kind of do a little circuit or whatever. So here we have like an Origin pump set, just some bars and plates, like the small bars that you see in classes. This is around £2,500. We're not including things like the steps or the sissy squat, even the med balls and stuff like that. But over here we have a assault bike. This is around £600. So here we have a full plyo box set. There's one over there as well. This costs around £800 for a full set. And here we have some of our kettlebells and a rack. Probably for a full set of kettlebells and the rack itself, probably looking around £600. So the flooring upstairs, these rubber mats here are 20 mil thick. Moving into the middle, we have our sled track, our purple sled track. So this is around £1,500, and the flooring upstairs here, those rubber mats and these rubber mats, which as you can see, have a lip. These are 40 mil thick. The rubber mats are around 12.5 grand. All right guys, so we're in our relatively small showers and changing room area. We only have 2 showers and changing room, kind of like individual sections, I guess. This whole room is tiled and has electrics in it, but this total doesn't include electrics. This cost us £19,200. And as you come through, I'll show you. So they're kind of like pretty small, but you know, big enough for obviously one person to come in and get a shower, get changed, etc. But yeah, all the plumbing, everything, other than electrics, £19,200. Okay, so we're in the men's toilets right now. Pretty small area, couple of toilets, cubicles, urinal, sink, etc. This and the female toilets, I've put around £5,000. We didn't have to put in new toilets. We did actually put in new toilets, but all the plumbing was originally here, so that saved a little bit on costs. So it was mainly the wall cladding, things like the hand dryer. We put the urinal in, we put a new sink in, etc. So just to give you an idea, this is the females now, hand dryer. We put this cab in and stuff like that. So like I said, I've gone for around £5,000. It probably was a bit more, but we'll say 5,000 for both of the rooms. All right, guys, so we're on the stairwell, just random stuff like this, right? So we carpeted this and we put in these, I don't know what you would call them, like stair lips. I think like all in all, it was like £2,000 we'll go with, probably a little more, but for the tally, we'll say 2,000. We're back downstairs now. So the floor that we have in here is a little different to upstairs. We literally laid all of this brand new. It costs around 12,500, which is around the same as upstairs. These interlock each other, so they're a lot better though. Coming over here. So these lockers are pretty fancy dancy lockers, to be honest. You definitely don't need to get this fancy, but Ascendancy, like we want to do everything as well as we can. These actually cost us £11,000 imported from Italy. They have like an RFID chip thing, which you use a fob against rather than like just your standard lock and key. They're really big and spacious, so you can put your shirts in there and hang them up and stuff like that. So we wanted to kind of go above and beyond. But yeah, £11,000. All right, guys, so I'm stood in front of our turnstiles now. This is how all of our members get in and out of the gym via our app, which I'll talk to you about in a little bit. But basically, the turnstiles themselves cost around £3,000 used. And the software and the hardware, which we link all together, the kissy and stuff like that, is around £3,800. So £6,800 just for this and the kind of software hardware that's used to give people access in and out of the gym. That is not paying someone to like integrate all of that together to our database and our system and stuff, which we'll talk about in a bit. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about air conditioning really quick. Basically, we have 4 units downstairs. There's 3 down here, and we have 3 upstairs. Total cost for the AC units to install, this isn't including running costs, was £30,000. All right, guys, so I'm going to use my phone to just rattle through some miscellaneous costs that we've got downstairs and upstairs as well. So first thing, by far one of the most expensive things that you'll ever find when you run a gym or want to open a gym is electrics, right? All of the electric work, I reconciled it all, was £14,600. So as you can see, we have some really cool LEDs and lighting and stuff. This doesn't include the sign at the back. The LEDs and the lighting was about £4,000. The fire alarm system that we have here and upstairs and the CCTV system was £15,000. And the music system was around £3,000. Okay, so as you can see, we've got some really cool signage. We have the LED outside at the front. We got this cool LED sign at the back, and then we have a bunch of signs on the walls and stuff like that. All the signage altogether was £6,200, and I'll tell you, that is an amazing deal because the guy who was doing it did me a solid. So yeah, it would be a lot more than that, but £6,200 is what we're going off. So we have 2 TVs either side that run some marketing material and stuff for us, about £200 each for the TVs. Okay, so we're going to talk about mirrors. Mirrors are a crazy cost, and unfortunately, you pretty much have to have them in your gym, right? Downstairs, all of our mirrors cost around £11,500 to be supplied and fitted. Upstairs, we actually accumulated the facility kind of with the mirrors a little bit, so we actually saved a little bit of cost there, but all in all, downstairs, we had to do everything, £11,500. Okay, guys, so one thing we missed out before was the painting for upstairs, right? We actually had a company come in and do this because of all of the rafters. The rafters were just so hard to do. So that cost us around £8,000 to do all of the walls and get someone to come and do all of the rafters, the purple color. Paint situation downstairs, very different story. I actually hand painted pretty much 90% of all of downstairs. My business partner spray painted all of the walls black. So we hired a spray painter. We paid for all the paint outright. And I literally got a one-man scaff and I was wheeling myself all around this unit before all the equipment was in, hand painting all of the rafters and all of these beams. So we had to clean them, prime them, and then paint them. So we saved an unbelievable amount of money. And if we were to talk about the amount we paid in paint and renting the stuff, probably around £2,000, but it would probably be about 5 times that if we were paying someone to come in. Okay, so we had this glass partition put in place as like an emergency exit, fire exit kind of thing. This was around £1,200. Fridges, probably you could get them for around £500 each. We have 2 here, and this one was supplied free by Monster. If you contact Monster, they'll do that. It's quite popular. So would recommend that if you're gonna open a gym. And then the big one, which we just got in, and by no means should anyone ever spend this amount of money on a vending machine, but this cost us £12,500 for a vending machine. Now, vending machines are more expensive than fridges, but this was an extremely expensive vending machine, but the tech on it is super, super high quality. So obviously you're gonna need some sort of PC. So I would say this costs us around like £2,000 for obviously the monitor, the card, the mouse, etc., etc. Okay, so for example, partition work like this, we probably spent a lot more than this again, but I've put down £1,000 for this. The labor side of all of the joinery work that we've had done is £4,300, and you've got to hire a skip to like get rid of all this stuff when you're ripping things out, etc. We spent about 1,400 quid on skips whilst we were renovating. So here we have some of our bumper plates. There's some over there as well, knocking about. We have 3 sets of bumper plates here. Each set is around £500, so that's £1,500 total, not including obviously the weight plates that we discussed before. Okay, so we have at the gym a few different attachments, quite a few pieces. So we have a full Watson attachment set, which was I think £800. We have a full prime attachment set, which was £1,300. And then we have a bunch of other attachments, which you could probably say is around like £500, but you're gonna need all those attachments, especially for a gym that has a lot of people coming to it. You're gonna need numerous duplicate attachments. Final thing we want to talk about is our software system and how all of that integrates into people getting in and out of the gym, all of that kind of stuff. So my business partner, Jack, amazing asset to this business, has created all of that for us, which has saved us so much money. And if we were to get someone or a company in to do all of this, it would probably cost somewhere in the region of £30,000, which brings grand total to somewhere around £470,000 for this gym right now, which is an absolutely crazy amount of money. You could probably save a lot of that if you bought secondhand, you went to auction, whatever it may be, but as a running total right now, £470,000. So that equates to around 13,500 members just to break even on this total investment that we've put into this gym today. The main reason we wanted to create this video was to raise a bit of awareness around the low ticket price of a gym, i.e. basically we charge $34.99 a month or £5 for a day pass. That's the equivalent for a monthly membership of £1.25 a day, something like that. Obviously in comparison to how much that costs, it's very, very small amount. And that goes out for all gyms out there. It costs a crazy amount of money to actually create a gym. And that doesn't include running and operating costs. So things like wages, rent, service charge, building insurance, a lot of running costs associated to actually owning a gym that doesn't equate to buying all of this stuff outright. We're going to talk about all that in a separate video. And this video is all about full disclosure. So we've obviously told you how much all this stuff costs. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a message, comment, whatever you want. We're more than happy to help. And if you obviously are looking at opening up a gym, hopefully this gives you some idea of how much it'll all cost you. We'll see you in the next one.